Hello. I don't know. Today is the day I've hit 100K, but I actually genuinely don't. My brain just hasn't fathomed it. I thought the day I would hit 100K would be like far bigger deal, where I'd be like, oh my god, 100K. But it's actually very chill, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think sometimes you can get too like it's good to celebrate your wins, and you need to celebrate your wins, and you need to be proud of yourself. That is so important. That is A1. But you also like look at the actual win for what it is. Like whether I have 95,000 followers or I have 100,000, as long as I'm impacting people, I'm happy. And I'm more happy like impacting people and actually seeing the direct impact I have rather than okay, numbers on a screen. And of course I understand that's not numbers on a screen. It's just very hard to actually fathom 100,000 people. Like it is a very hard it's just very hard to actually imagine how many, like, and the fact that 100,000 people actively seen one of my videos and they thought, okay, this will benefit my life, this will improve my life, and they decided to press follow. It's just very hard to get through the brain, but I'm so grateful for it, so proud of it, and I just want to thank you all for supporting and being a part of it because I've been posting the last 2.5 years now, and I've done dozens of content styles. I've done hundreds, and hundreds of posts every single day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. And now we have 100,000 people following along, more because I just checked Facebook today. I had no idea. Last I checked Facebook, I had 1,000. I think I had less than 1,000. I had like 500 on Facebook, 500 people following me. And then I went on like at the start of this year and I had like 5,000. I was like, what? And then I went on yesterday and I had 25,000. I was like, what? So 25,000, I think, on Facebook or something similar to that. We've got, I think, 23,000 on TikTok, 100,000 on Instagram, and I think like 1,000 or 2,000 on YouTube, which is insane. So thank you very, very much. If you've been thinking about posting content or thinking about making that change, whatever it is, if it's for yourself, for your business, for your life, whatever it is you do, whatever it is you go for, just go for it. Stop waiting, stop thinking, start doing. It's time to dial in. So, yeah, folks, thank you very, very much for everything. This isn't going to be too long of a live. I'm going to answer any questions that you have now. So I'm just going to take a look through the questions here and then we're going to wrap everything up. But all right, we've got our first question, and someone's saying about, all right, I'm feeling low energy. I feel low energy. I try the gym. It feels bad. Um, and then I feel bad after. And then it's, yeah, okay. So I get you. So what I see a lot of people do is they feel bad because of external things. It could be things in work, relationships, whatever it is. So then they have no energy. So they don't train or they don't eat good. They don't do either of that stuff. So then they feel bad in turn. And it just becomes a proper cycle over and over and over again. You need to, first and foremost, you need to stop pointing your finger at the other stuff and break the cycle. It's down to you to break that cycle. It's down to you to make that change. Whether that, even if this is outside of fitness, whatever, if it's in a relationship and there's something going wrong and there's a constant loop, it's down to you to break that cycle. So, yeah, look into what you have control of. If you're not feeling energetic, if you're feeling shit, if you're not in the shape you want to be, what do you have control of? Well, first of all, your nutrition. I would say one of the most important things. What's your nutrition looking like? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you tracking? Are you looking at what you eat? If anyone wants help with nutrition, if anyone would like a free meal plan sent over to them to help them on their health and their fitness journey, just message me the words meal plan on Instagram. And or even if you're on the Instagram live, if you type in meal plan, it'll actually get sent to your DMs anyway. So either message me meal plan on Instagram, or else just if you're on the live right now, just type in meal plan and it will send over. I'll make sure it's sent over here after this call. So the first thing you can control is your nutrition, your training routine, and you can build out a training routine from ChatGPT. And there's a lot of free information out there. There's YouTube videos on how to train. But the thing is, most of the good free information is actually out there. Most of us know how to get into shape. Most of us know how to change, yet we still don't make that change. And why is that? And that's because we need a bit of accountability. The same way You go to work because your boss tells you to go to work. There's accountability to go to work. Same way when you were in school, you would do your homework because of the fact you knew your teacher was going to mark your homework. You were held accountable as a result. A lot of the time, it's accountability that most people are missing. And that's just being straight. And that's not even a pitch just for my coaching. It is you could get someone else hold you accountable, you get your parent hold you accountable, you get a friend hold you accountable, you both could hold each other accountable. So there's not really any excuse. And then looking into other things like your sleep and most importantly your routine, because your routine is going to tie into all that. Because of course, like it's easy to say, right, you need to sleep good, you need to eat good, you need to train good. But if your routine's fucked, it's going to be very, very hard to do that. And I know that it feels like an awful lot, but I was actually there. And a lot of people look at me and they're like, oh, yeah, you're a coach. So, like, it must be easy for you. Motherfucker, it's not. Before I did coaching, I was working a full time 9 to 5. I was also working a second job in a gym. And I was also building my business. And that included uploading content every single day. That included serving all my clients every single day while working the other jobs. And I was still able to get in the best shape of my life. And why? It was because I had a good routine and I had prepped in advance. Also, I invested in a coach who really helped me on my journey because I had that accountability. So I had to show up, and because of that, it was easy because I was just so ingrained in a solid routine. So if you're sitting, you have low energy. What's your routine looking like? Are you doing anything actively to get out of that? If not, stop pointing your finger and do something about it. Do not complain about something you have control of. So yeah, and even if any of you want to make your first step on your fitness journey, I give out free meal plans. So just send me the message meal plan on Instagram and I will send them over to your inbox just after this live. Or if you're on the live on Instagram, just type in the words meal plan and it'll get sent over to you. So yeah, guys, if you can do something about it, don't complain. If you don't like your body, you can do something about it, don't complain. Yes, ask questions. Yes, try to find the answer. Yes, take action. Yes, do something about it, but don't complain because you have complete control over it. Stop pointing your finger. When you point your finger at something, 3 fingers point back at you. So, yes. Any questions, folks? Let me know. We're going to go on TikTok, see what questions we got coming through. Hopefully, they're all nice. Hopefully, everyone's well behaved. Someone said, Shell Scott, I really want to start my fitness journey this year. Look and feel healthier, but don't know where to start. First thing you can do, Shell Scott, is just message me the words meal plan and I'll send you some meal plans. Do it on Instagram ideally. My Instagram is Owen McGinn 123. And yeah, I'll fire them over just to help you out. It's the first thing. Second thing is sit down and figure out your why. So important. Everyone says, okay, I need to go to the gym. I need to eat better. I need to sleep better. I need to do all these things. If you're not clear on your why, if you're not clear why it's actually important, you're not going to do it. So get clear on your why, get deep in your why. If you know your why, then the how becomes a hell of a lot easier. So yeah, there's your first 2 steps. Owen Privik, miss you, Owen. No, Owen, I miss you. Hope you're all well. Hope everything's good. Let me know. How are you, man? How are you? Anything else, folks? Let me know. I am yours for the next 5 minutes, and then I have a protein pudding to get to and a bed to get to as well. Someone said on TikTok, why do you have 5 people watching? There's 9 people watching at the moment, but on Instagram there's 15, and on YouTube there is I don't think there's anyone on YouTube. No, YouTube just gets recorded to get reposted, but basically I do multiple lives at the same time, as you can see there. So I'm live on TikTok here, live on Instagram here. You know what I mean? You need to dial in. You need to make the most out of it. You need to, like, why only go live on one platform when you can go live at 3 at the same time? You know, folks, got to double down. 3 birds, 1 flipping stone. Luke Rowe, where are we? Shell Scott, thank you for that advice. I'll PM you on Instagram for the meal plan. Yeah, and if anyone else on this here live wants a free meal plan sent over to them, just message me the words meal plan on Instagram. Meal plan. Hopefully my accent makes sense. M-E. I'm not even going to try to spell meal plan on Instagram, and I will send that over and give you a hand. And also, if you have any questions too on this live, or if you want to send it over on Instagram too, I will get back to them and I will reply and give you all a hand. Luke Rowe, thank you very much, brother. Really appreciate it. Feels the exact same, feels the exact same hitting 100k. Well, instead of hitting 90k, but I do appreciate it. It is a good milestone. So happy with it. Grania, what would be the recommended protein intake for someone at 66 kg? I'm on 190 grams a day, probably at a small farming chicken over the last week. So Yeah, for 66 kg, that I would say that's a bit much. You want 2.2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. Or if you're doing pounds, I was doing pounds because it's easier. It's 1 gram per pound. Because then instead of having to do 2.2 in miles. But yeah, 190, like that's decent. Like it's not a lot. It's a good amount. Like you're good there. But if you did go a wee bit lower, like you're not gonna be hurt. You don't. I'd say for you the range between 150 to 190. It also depends like what's your goal at the moment? Are you cutting? Are you bulking? If you're cutting, you would actually want to look into like increasing your protein because protein's actually going to fill you up a lot more. So if you can eat more protein, if you find hunger is a big thing, one thing you could do is eat a lot more protein, and that's going to help you out. Whereas when bulking, like a lot of people have a lot of protein when they're bulking, and it's not necessary. You may as well. You're actually better off eating more carbs when you're bulking because you're going to be doing hard training. You're going to be looking to lift a lot more. I don't want to bore you guys with everything to do with training, but I hope that helps. 190. If you can't keep it 190, keep it. If you're hitting 150, 160 as well, you're going to be grand too at 66 kg. Emmett said, "What does your diet look like at the moment?" One, I'm actually cutting weight at the moment, so I am dieting down. I'm only on a 6 week mini cut though, so it's gonna be easy work. It's actually very easy. I find see every time you do a cut, it's easier, and I've done so many cuts now that it's so easy. And the fact I've pushed so hard on the bulk, I'm actually kind of welcoming the cut. I'm actually happy to be in a bit of a cut because I've been eating 4,600 calories a day up to this point. So eating under 2,000 is it's nice. It is nice. But you just need to be careful when you're on a cut, especially on a hard cut. Make sure your peri nutrition is on point. So your pre-workout, intra-workout, post-workout as well. Just because like obviously during a bulk, you're going to be getting plenty of food anyway to fuel you. Whereas on a cut, since you have less carbs, you want to actually utilize those carbs for your training. And plenty of salt too. Make sure you're like, it depends if you're fat, especially if you're fasted in the mornings, get some salt in. So that's how my diet's roughly looking like. Owen Privik, work's not the same without you, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to leave. I had to go. Um, it was great crack. It was great crack. University, work was great crack while it lasted. But I suppose there's only like 7 months left, or well, maybe 6 months left uni, but another year left to work. By the way, if I didn't leave my 9 to 5, I'd still be working. For anyone that doesn't know, I'd be working in an office in Belfast. That's what I was on about. The other one, Granny said, I was told 1,900 calories, 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20%. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You could like swap it up a wee bit, but like that's grand. 40% protein, 40% carb, 20% fat. Yeah, it's grand. Trying to lose fat. Yeah, if you're trying to lose fat, and I gym and run 3 to 4 days a week and average 14,000 steps a day. Yeah, that's fine. For every single person, you're going to lose weight at different rates, and that's going to be dependent on a lot of different things. So I know you're putting in your steps there, that's going to be part of your activity, but also even did you put in your height there? No, you didn't put in your height. Like your current height, I know you put your current weight in at 66 kg. Your current height, how much muscle you have, and even your metabolism will all impact how fast you lose weight, and also how long you've been in a fat loss phase before. If you've been losing fat for ages and you're on 1,900 calories and you haven't been losing any more fat in the last few weeks, that's where you need to make a budge. Whereas if you've only started your diet and if you only went 1,900 calories, well, you need to get at least 7 days before you make any changes. And then you gather the data that full week and then you make changes from there. Hopefully this isn't getting too confusing or technical for anyone. But any other questions, you can fire me over on Instagram. But if anyone wants help with their diet, just message me meal plan on Instagram and I'll send you off a meal plan to help you out for free. Eamon Swale, hope you're all good. Hope you're all good. I seen the post I was actually going to reach out. Seen the post you in the hospital. But I say you're flat out in messages. McGinn, how long are you going to do the daily lives, smashing the consistency? I actually I love these daily lives. I'm just gonna keep them going as I go. Like I'm not gonna put much pressure to make sure they go out. I'm still doing 2 posts a day. So the live actually doubles up as a post. Like on Instagram, you can just double up as a post. But I think I'll just keep them up until whatever happens. So I know that's a shit answer. It's not really an answer, is it? Grania said 4,600. Yeah, I was eating 4,600 calories a day. But I found it easy because you just, same with cutting and bulking's easy if you just know how to like sort yourself out with a meal plan. Like you just find the foods that you enjoy. You generate a meal plan off the back of that. You make sure you're hitting your calories, your protein. You make sure your carbs are decent and your fats are decently low. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be grand. And my bulking food and my cutting food is actually very similar. Just make a few swaps to then change out the calories, and it just makes life easier. You'll actually see in my meal plans. If anyone wants a meal plan, just message me meal plan. They're very simple. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell you like they're gonna be something really, really technical. Simplicity is key. Like, the simpler the meal plan, the better. The more confusing it is, the more ingredients it is, the harder it's going to be to stick at it when you're busy. All right, we got Bisate. I don't know how you say your name. He's got his meal plan. Anyone else want a meal plan? Send over the words meal plan. I'll sort you out. I'm trying to increase my height. I was trying some straightening up. I cannot help you with increasing your height. Um, Focus on you. Focus on getting into great shape. And yeah, you don't need to be tall. It's fine. It's grand. Grania is 5'2". Lovely. So yeah, again, it just depends how long you've been in a fat loss phase for. Like, if you've just started your fat loss phase, you're starting off at 1900, that's fine. Just make sure you're weighing yourself, or else you're measuring yourself. One or the other. Weighing normally is just easier to do, and then grab that data and then use that to move forward with your journey. Yeah, keep me updated. And if you do want those meal plans, just message me meal plan and I'll send them over as well. Eamon said, "Love it, mate. Keep it up. No problem. No problem." Same with you, Eamon. Can't wait for the next sober socials to come up, or social sobers. No, it's sober social. Cannot wait for it. Cannot bloody wait. Whew. Beautiful, folks. Also, if anyone wants to listen to a good podcast, me and Eamon Swale, the CEO of Sober Social, did a podcast together. It's the Dialed In podcast, so you can listen to it there. It's a very good podcast, isn't it, Eamon? Hype it up. Hype it up in the chat. Or if anyone's listened to it, hype it up in the chat. Some say 55 meal. What type of gym training run? 5K times 3. What are you asking? Are you asking me what type of gym training you should be doing? I actually can't answer that for you. So do the training you enjoy. Do the training you're going to be consistent at. Obviously, if you have specific goals, if you want to gain muscle, then that's where you need to actually look to be very, very specific. But if you're not actually too fussed on putting on muscle, just do if you do something you enjoy, like, you're gonna fly. And also, it depends what your other goals are. I see there you're running. So if you're enjoying your running, you're going to the gym. If you're already going to the gym 3 times a week, you're grand. You are grand. Gold medal. Someone said, "Do you work anywhere?" Yeah, oh shit, Instagram's going to turn off. Oh no. Instagram just turned off. Folks, do yourself a favor. Download this app. It's called Opal. It blocks you out of your phone. It also is kind of annoying when I'm going live and it turns, because this is meant to be my bedtime. But it's good. So I'm finally back on Instagram. I'm so sorry. Opal had took over. I use this app. Oh, pause due to poor connection. Hopefully everyone's still there. Right, boom. Folks, sorry about that. I use this app called Opal and it just took me off my phone there now. But we're back. Thank you all for waiting. You have very good patience. Most people have no attention span. Most people would scroll off. So well done for you all. Right, Miss D said, "Any tips for increasing calorie intake?" So yes, how many calories are you looking to get in? For me, I was eating 4,600, so I could give you a good few tips. For me, I found just eating the exact same food every day just makes life so much easier if you're trying to bulk and you're trying to, even if you're trying to cut too, either or, eating the same food every day, I would sleep on that. I would die on that sword. But for me, what I had during my bulk was, in the morning, I would have 2 bacon, egg sandwiches. Oh, it was unreal. And then I would have, before my workout, I would have granola. Granola is so high in calories, so get on the granola. If you're cutting, don't get on the granola. If you're cutting, getting the rice cakes before your workout, a lot better. But yeah, granola, very, very high in calories with some protein as well in it, and a banana as well. Good potassium before the gym. And then during my workout, actually peri-nutrition, like intra workout, I would have a Lucozade, just to get some carbs straight to the system. And then when I would finish up my workout, I would actually have 2 ready meals. So like the Go Pig ready meals, I would have 2 of them. And then for my dinner, I would have chicken thighs, which chicken thighs are so high in fat. So like, as a result, they're really high in calories. Chicken thighs, bag of rice, half a thing of garlic bread, some dark chocolate on the side. I had a bit of dark chocolate with every meal too, because dark chocolate, it's like a really healthy fat, very high in calories. So I would just have like 4 squares with each meal. And then like that really bulked up my calories. So yeah, like even just adding 4 squares of dark chocolate to every meal you eat is already gonna have such an impact on the amount of calories you have. Want to do more? Have like an extra banana before you're training, like have an extra piece of fruit, get some extra fiber in. And yeah, I hope that helps. Granola is great. Get on the granola. And yeah, obviously you don't want to be eating like crap all day. The only like sort of bad meal I had in my bulk was my breakfast. It was bacon and egg. It was bacon, but my bulk didn't last that awfully long, and that was only towards the end of the bulk. Oats are very easy too. Like I find oats very easy to get in. Oats, dark chocolate, Biscoff on it, peanut butter, all of that. Easy work, cheap as fuck too. Granted, if I wasn't dropping any weight, would I need to increase or decrease the calories? So decrease the calories usually, but see if you're like really, really low calories and you find that if you're really low calories and you've been in a fat loss phase for ages and you find that you actually have just stalled out in weight loss, that's where you will want to increase the calories, but keep decreasing until like you actually find that you're maxed out on your steps, you're maxed out in the cardio you can do, and you're maxed out in how low you can put your calories. And then if you still struggle to lose weight, that's where you want to actually increase. You would do what I call, you can call it a few different things, but I call it maintenance phase. You go into a maintenance phase for about, it depends as well for how long you were dieting before. Again, it's very nuanced, but like if I were to give you an answer, I would say go into a maintenance phase for 8 to 12 weeks. And then what that's going to do, it's going to rebuild up and reset your metabolism. It's also going to give you a mental break from dieting, because you've been dieting for so long, you've been cutting down and on low calories for so long. So it's going to do those two things for you. And then whenever you go back to dieting, you'll actually then continue to lose weight. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. So that's what I would say to do. So increase as much you can, and also use steps and cardio. Increase that, or sorry, decrease first. Use steps and cardio. Increase that once you're maxed out on increasing your steps and cardios and decreasing your food. Then that's where you can actually increase your calories, and you would go into a maintenance phase. So not like a full-on bulk, but like after you fully get lean and you've lost all the fat you want, that's where you would reverse out and go into like an actual like gaining phase, a bit of a lean bulk, or you could just sit at like a decent amount for a while for like maintenance. Yo, what the advice would you give for a young man you currently being having a heartburn? Ways to avoid it. A heartburn. I don't know if you're having a heartbreak or heartburn or what's going on, brother. Fill me in. Tell me about it. For transforming from, by the way, I know you are all asking me fitness questions, just so you can actually get some help as well once I finish up this live. If you want some free meal plans sent over to you, just go to my Instagram, message me meal plan, or if you're on the live on the Instagram, see if you're on the live in TikTok, do yourself a favor, go on live on Instagram. The Instagram live is always more buzzing, but do yourself a favor, type in the Instagram live meal plan, and then after this you'll be sent a link to get free meal plans, just to help you out on your health and fitness journey. Or else just message me on Instagram at any time, meal plan, and you'll get meal plan sent over to help you out. All right, so back to the questions, and then I am going to have to wrap this up, guys. Thanks so much for asking these questions, because everyone's learning as a result. You ask one question, someone else learns. For transforming from really skinny to bulking in muscle, along with frequently working out, what would be the standout foods that help focus solely on muscle building? So there's no specific food that is going to make you gain mass. You'll find there's carbs, there's proteins, there's fats. All of them actually have it, are used as a tool to help you gain mass. So what you want to do is you don't want to complicate it. So whenever you have like your set calorie target and you have your set protein target, normally the fats and the carbs will take care of themselves. So have a set calorie target, have a set protein target, and then hit that, and don't overly stress on, obviously don't eat junk food, but like even when go see those meal plans I do, go to the meal plans that I give out for free. There's a different range of calorie amounts for all of them, way up to 4,000 calories. So like you'll be sorted. So just go for them and you'll see what to eat to gain muscle. But again, there is no specific like, oh, eat green beans and that's going to build muscle. There's no specific food that is actually going to help you solely with putting on mass. It is unfortunately the boring answer of eating your calories, training hard, progressively overloading, and Well, sleeping good too. That actually, not many people think about that, but sleeping as well, massive thing. Miss D said, "I'm not taking enough." Miss D, not taking enough what? Food? Protein? What's up? Hello, everyone. If you're working out and not dropping weight in a deficit, could the weight not be muscle mass? If you're working out and not dropping weight in a deficit, so yeah, whenever you're dropping weight, normally it will be fat or it will be water. It could be muscle, but to actually limit your chances of losing muscle in a fat loss phase, like you shouldn't really be losing any muscle as long as you're resistance training hard. So like training with weights and then eat enough protein, you're not going to lose muscle whenever you're in a fat loss phase. So don't overly stress about losing muscle whenever you are in a cut in a fat loss phase. Just make sure you're one, training hard, and two, eating enough protein, and that's going to maintain your muscle as you go. We've got we've got the crew in. You and are you of the mindset of it? Nature didn't make it, or don't take it, are the same processed food. So yeah, I know roughly what you're asking. No, at the end of the day, everything you have, basically 99% of foods that you have will be processed to a degree. Like people say, oh yeah, don't eat fucking Rice Krispies, they're processed. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Rice Krispies are processed, but like see the typical banana, that's also processed. Like it is very, very hard to eat everything non-processed. And most people are like, "Oh yeah, don't eat processed." Fair enough, but if the government are poisoning us, they would just put it in our water supply, or they would just put it in our drugs, or they would just put it in something else that we consume. So if they want to poison us, like just by avoiding processed food, they're still going to find a way to get it in your system. So don't overly stress about not eating processed foods. Obviously, don't just eat junk food all day. Don't eat McDonald's on your bulk. Like you're going to end up feeling shite and working your way to an early grave. But like a bowl of Rice Krispies before the gym, some Cocoa Pops, some cereal, some granola, all this processed food, there's nothing fundamentally bad about it. It's just if you have too much of that one thing. So yeah, and thank you for that question because a lot of people, I suppose, will have gotten value from that. So really appreciate it. And folks, if anyone wants a free meal plan as well, we've got over 20 people on this live between all two platforms. If anyone wants a free meal plan to help them with their nutrition, with their diet, with their health and fitness journey, message me the words meal plan on Instagram, or else just go to the Instagram live chat and type in meal plan, and then I'll know that that's going to get sent over to you. Rebecca said, I meant, could your weight stay the same if you're gaining muscle? Could your weight? Sorry, it's past my bedtime. My brain is near dead. These are the last few questions, folks, and I have to go. I meant, could your weight stay the same if you're gaining muscle and losing fat? Oh, okay. No, no. Well, you want to focus on one thing at a time because if you're trying to gain a lot of muscle while also losing fat, you're trying to do two things at the same time. Whereas what you want to do is just decide to first and foremost, if you have fat to lose, first and foremost, lose the fat. As you're losing the fat, especially if you're just new to the gym, you're still going to gain muscle because as long as you're resistance training and as long as you're eating enough protein, you still will gain muscle, especially if you're overloading in the gym, progressively overloading and getting stronger. So yes, resistance train, eat enough protein, focus on a fat loss phase, you still will build a bit of muscle. Obviously, if you're a very, very experienced lifter, you'll just about maintain muscle. You won't lose it, but you'll just about maintain. But if you're new to the gym, you can still progress a lot. You can still gain a lot of muscle while you lose fat. And then after you lose the fat, your body will be primed. It'll be lean. And then that's where you can start building muscle on top. If you're trying to do both at the same time, you're fucking yourself. It's like how a lot of people, and this is a call out if you're doing this, a lot of people are like running 4 or 5 days a week while also trying to build like a bunch of muscle while also training for like a high rocks. You focus on one thing at a time and you will see a lot of, and this is one thing that really annoys me about the industry, you will see a lot of people that are doing high roxes or doing marathons and they're in really good shape and they have a lot of muscle on them, and people want that physique. They're like, oh my god, I want that muscular lean frame. And because they're running or because they're doing a high rocks, they're like, oh yeah, I'll do running or I'll do a high rocks and I'll look like them. No, they have trained for like 5 to 10 years doing muscle building splits in the gym to build the muscle. And then after, they then go on and they get bored of muscle building and then decide, I'm going to do a high rocks, I'm going to do a marathon. And then you see them with their muscle and you're like, oh yeah, I want to look like them. But like, they trained a different way to actually look that way. So like, just for any of you that are like doing a bunch of running at the moment or doing a bunch of high rocks training and you're not seeing changes with your body composition, and this isn't me telling you that you have to change how you look. You don't have to change how you look, but this is for people who want to change how they look, their body composition. If you're constantly doing like running and high rocks and you're looking at the people that are like bigger than you and like, why aren't I as big as them? It's because they resistance trained and they focused hard on actual splits that would build muscle. So yeah, hope that makes sense, folks. Hope it all makes sense. You had said thank you for your advice. Really always helps me, but I do also have loads of questions. Brother, no stress. Like the way I learned, how do you think I learned? I just asked a fuck ton of questions to people who were in the position that I wanted to be in. So never apologize for asking questions. We're going to shoot off here now. So folks, thank you so much for coming on board. Thank you so much for 100K. If anyone here would like a free meal plan, I'm giving them out for free. Just message me the words meal plan on Instagram and they will get sent over to you here after this live. So send the words meal plan on Instagram. And yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. Thank you so much for being a part of this live. I need to get to bed. It's 11:13. My bedtime's 11. So yeah, see you all later. Bye. Over and out. Thanks for coming. Message the words meal plan if you would like a free meal plan, folks. See you all soon. And YouTube, you know the drill. All the best.